Wake up, wake up, wake up. Now come on, too much sleep is bad, isn't it? After several days of dozing and sleeping, I've realized that too much sleep can be very disastrous. For the very first reason, the major contributor for the delay of the episode is no one but sleep. So I'm extremely sorry about that, guys. My deepest apologies to you. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the world's most popular show. Obviously from behind, BeaTalkRadio. How are you today? Well, what is the point in asking when you're not answering and keeping mum? But I admit that it would be foolish on your part too to blab answers to a person who's on YouTube and who cannot even listen to you. But guess what? I'm better than the politicians. You can answer through our YouTube or Facebook pages, and I promise that within the end of this week, I'll have all your answers answered. I mean, all your replies replied. All your answers replied? Or no. Replies replied. Is it? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Still a bit dizzy and haven't yet woken up properly. Oh, come on, guys. Don't be so lazy, as I am, and go on. Write a comment or a reply while I sing a song. So get ready to torture your ears. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tones. Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything. Nothing at all. Do 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 da 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 da. Nothing at all. Do 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 do. Are you done with your writing? Great. Still not sure whether you did it or not. Anyway, I won't blame it on you. You're not to blame. I know network problem is an obnoxious guest in our country. And why won't it be? After all, India is running the software of tomorrow on the hardware of yesterday. It's just like running Microsoft Office 2015 on Pentium 3. I know that's a bad example, but that deems fit. On this account, I'm very angry of Mr. Narendra Modi. And I have a question for him. Mr. Modi, you talk about digital India. I don't know how many projects you have overtaken, how many Wi-Fi lines or hotspots are you setting up, but what really matters is I don't see it happening. For real. I don't see it happening. At least not happening in my locality, not even in Delhi, where my brother is studying. Now, tell me, Mr. Modi, you talk about connecting villages through high-speed internet, high-speed broadband connections. Connect every child with facilities internet has to offer. You call Google a guru. Now tell me, how can a poor farmer's son pay 1,500 rupees a month for internet, 3G? How? Now come on, don't escape by imposing 2G on us. We all know how speed 2G is. A man will grow old and die before a video buffers on YouTube. Recently, you've been to US, right? My cousin works there. Do you know that he gets 100 Mbps internet speed on a free Wi-Fi? And even on paying the money, we don't even get 10 kbps download speed on a 2G network, do we? Now come on, face the reality. India is out of comparison when it comes to internet. And you're talking about digital India. Japan, a much smaller country, offers average internet speed of 52 Mbps today. And India? Reports say that India offers an average speed of 2 Mbps. But we know the reality, don't we? Besides, Japan is a regular victim of earthquakes, tsunamis, and whatnot, all the natural calamities. But still then, it beholds its position. And even a puppy wind here in India blows up all the telephone lines, all the internet connections, all the electric poles, which takes weeks to repair. Such a shame. did you know that India comes just third when it comes to number of internet users? But when it comes to speed, India stands shamefully at 115th position. My dear Uncle Modi, the country has voted for you. The youth has voted for you. Big cities don't deserve all the fun. We matter too. The government makes a lot of plans, passes a lot of bills. But at the end of the day, it is the common man who ends up paying a lot of bills. So take a free advice, Mr. Modi. I don't want to waste my whole youth waiting for your plans to be implemented, waiting for your Wi-Fi hotspots to be set up. All you need to do is to just reduce the internet rates. If you can give such a huge subsidy in gas cylinders, then you can also do it for internet, can't you? Okay, seems like I bored you too much with my political garbage, but I will bore you more, so get ready to sore your throat to curse me. But I am not going to pay for Vicks or Strepsils in case you damage your throat. Okay? Alright, then it's a deal. So there ends the disclaimer, and here starts the prologue. The table of contents. So, coming up on today's episode, with reports of artificial garbage and action without intellect, Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan seems to leave greater impact on Facebook and Twitter than Indian streets. So today we are going to attempt a reality check on the so-called Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan. And let me warn you, my friends, this is going to be a biased discussion because I am no Arnab Goswami on the noise hour. Okay, next. Nowadays, there's hardly a day when the front page of the newspaper is not an ad page. What is this? Oh, enough is enough. 30 minutes of serial with 15 minutes of ads. Sometimes the runtime goes like 5 minutes of advertisement, followed by 1 minute of serials, and then again 5 minutes of advertisements, 30 seconds of serial, which ends with what? A suspense. And we get what? A whole weekend of mind-boggling suspense as to what will happen in the next episode. Now, have you ever wondered how expensive these ads are? How much these advertisements cost? I know you guys always had a curiosity as to what is the rate of the full page or the half page advertisements. How much does it cost to broadcast advertisement on TV? Today, we will resolve that dilemma. Alright? And then I'll tell you an account of a Chinese person who managed to have food worth hundreds of thousands absolutely for free. Yes, savoring the world's best delicacies and tasting the world's most expensive cuisines, he had them all. And guess what? Free of charge, and that too, legally. You might be thinking that he stole money or committed some petty thefts. No, his process was so intricate that even the government couldn't put him into jail. Sounds interesting, isn't it? What he did, how he did, and why he did. I'll explain it to you later. And we will also find out whether we can apply his techniques in our life and have free burgers. Alright? Next comes a truly inspiring story that I'm sure will change your perception towards life and the situations that you're going through. I'm afraid it's too short to brief now, so I prefer to explain it to you and narrate it to you when we begin. Okay? And at the end, I'll leave you with another exciting, amazing, and life-changing trick to boost up your day and make it productive. Believe me, you will miss every opportunity and you will not waste a completely wasted day. See, if you are confused, don't worry. I will elaborate. I'm not as cruel as the CBSE. Well, so, where we were? So, let's begin. It was a fine summer evening. Streets were crowded with victims of heated houses. I and my dad were returning from my grandma's house in our old scooter, enjoying the cool breeze. We paused halfway. My dad bought me a full plate of spicy aloo chaat from a roadside stall. We didn't stand there to finish it. So as my dad was driving, I was stuffing myself up with the crunch, spicy, sweet and sour chaat on the back seat, enjoying the cool breeze. Wow! It was an amazing day. But when I was finished with it, I kept the disposable plate with me because I didn't want to pollute the roads. I waited for an appropriate place to dispose it. Three and a half miles had gone by and there was no sign of a single dustbin. Now my question is, how on the earth can Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan be accomplished without dustbins? It's just like internet without Google. It's unthinkable, unbelievable, unimaginable. And even if there are dustbins, we would have to hire Sherlock Holmes or Byomkesh Bakshi to spot those, to prove their existence. The storming of social media with broomstick selfies did guarantee the execution of campaign and the termination of filth, but the reality seems otherwise. A recent post by the Dainik Bhaskar, yes I remember it, disclosed how artificial, especially, you won't believe, colored waste were scattered on purpose for the celebrities to clean up. Now this is ridiculous. I mean, you throw waste to clean waste. See, the problem is the government is focusing more on clearing the mess rather than removing the source that creates the mess. In trains, you must have witnessed a warning signboard, or mostly imprinted on the wall of the train, saying, "Please don't litter, use dustbins." But where the heck are the dustbins? I know, nobody wants to make a mess of their home or country, but what can we do? We are bound. Where do we throw? Where do we dispose? Even the installation of dustbins are not enough. Why? Because you need to deploy a body or a team or a mechanism that cleans dustbins on regular basis. Like, say, a truck which collects the garbage from the dustbins in an area and sends them to places where the garbage can further be treated. But that mechanism is only available in selected cities. Until and unless steps are taken to deploy the mechanism in all the cities of India, you cannot expect India to be clean. Even if India wants to be clean, it cannot be clean because there is no mechanism. Most of you might be familiar that in many countries there exist two dustbins. One for biodegradable and other for non-biodegradable waste. The biodegradable waste can be used to prepare manure, and the non-biodegradable waste can be recycled. So there won't be a problem in separating the garbage because you have two dustbins, and the concerned authorities collect the dust separately, and that's what makes countries developed. So there needs to be a scientific base on which the whole plan needs to be developed. What is the use of such high level of science in higher secondary schools in India when it cannot be applied to the benefit of our own country? But you know, how can you expect India to develop when the government processes are as slow as India's internet speed? No, I said it all wrong. India's internet slow. Yes, that seems to be the most appropriate word. So the next time when you meet your friend, don't ask him what is your internet speed. Ask him, what is your internet slow? Okay, so the next big question that arises in front of us is, why are the brightest minds of India flying to US or UK? Why are IITians not willing to work in India? Why are the brightest doctors or the best doctors fly to US or UK instead of working in India? I must say the answer is very simple. As clear as ABC, the answer is crystal clear. It is because they are not getting good opportunities here in India, both fame-wise and money-wise. See, there are two people, right? There are two people. One is giving you a book with 80% discount in excellent quality, and the other one is giving you a book with just 10% discount with very bad quality. Where will you go? Obviously with the one with greater discount and better quality, right? So that's the same here. Now, you cannot deny the fact that US and UK are providing better opportunities, because every day when you see the newspaper, you see the young entrepreneurs, they are from an Indian origin, but most of them, you will see in most of the cases that when they were a child, they moved to US or they moved to UK. So they're not completely Indian, they are NRI. And nowadays in today's world, that you see that most NRIs are rocking the world. Why? Because US and UK are providing better opportunities. See, it's evident from the fact, NASA, it has 30% employees of Indian origin. So if these minds, these bright, brilliant minds, are given an opportunity with a handsome payment, I believe that India will develop at a lightning speed. Now we have mind, we have great minds, but we are not using them. We are letting others use them. Why? Because others are paying them more. If we use these minds with an appropriate workforce, I believe that India will develop at a lightning speed, faster than Rajnikant. What do you think? That would be great. I want to share with you a recent, very interesting incident that happened in South India. Recently, the Andhra Pradesh government was suffering from a huge public debt of 17,500 rupees. 17,500 crore rupees. I forgot the crore there. The ruling TDP party there has been crying itself hoarse about the lack of financial resources to fund welfare schemes and building infrastructure. Even the public was appealed by the chief minister to donate a day's wages every month. The cash crunch, however, surprisingly did not affect the government profligacy. To my surprise, all the 175 legislatures were gifted with brand new iPhones, with the bill amounting to 1 crore. And who is paying for this? Who is? Unfortunately, you and me are paying for all this. You and me. The taxpayers of the modern India. The taxpayers of the so-called independent India. Also recently, the government bought 12 Fortuner cars for the politicians in Jharkhand. Now my question is straight. Now my question is, why is the government making no delay, no hesitation in such private investments and take years and years of speculation, years and years of discussion, years and years of questioning to invest in public factors, to invest publicly, to make public investment? Why is that so? Why is the government not showing that kind of rapidity in taking up public projects? See, it's easy to declare projects, but carrying them out, that's where real hard work lies. And that's why we have voted for you. That's why we have chosen you. It disappoints me. Sometimes it annoys me. Really, I mean it. My message to the government is very clear. Very clean, very simple. See, people will be very happy. They will be very happy to pay the taxes, just as they start seeing development that benefits them directly. That is important, because the government shouldn't be saying like, as you can see, there is development being done in Mumbai or Chhattisgarh. It should happen in your locality. It should not be limited to TV screens or newspapers. It should be visible to your eyes. Now, the second drawback of Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan. There is no proper drainage system in most of the places, including big cities like Mumbai and Delhi. Drainage systems are the heart of cleanliness and sanitation. In India, every time there's a little more rain, water starts clogging. And this clogging water gives rise to stagnant water. And the stagnant water forms a habitat to various types of mosquitoes and pathogens and other harmful organisms. They form a rich, fertile source of diseases and devastation. I'm sorry to say that, Mr. Modi, your foreign trips are not paying off. It's funny how people talk more about your dress code, foreign trips, and oratory skills than the steps that you're taking for the country. Come on, Prime Minister, come on. It's time to prove that India's judgment skills are exceptionally strong. Alright? For that, you need to cure the roots in order to bear the most fruitful fruits. Okay, there is a third drawback of Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan. No matter how many gods come down to the earth, no matter how many angels come down from the sky, there will, and I underline, there will be Hitlers, there will be Osamas, ISIS, to disrupt the normal functioning of the society. Who will explain them? Will a person even dare to go to Yemen or Syria and try to lecture them on peace? You think you won't be even in a position to guarantee the return of the corpse? Frankly speaking, will Gandhiji's non-violence work here? Absolutely not. Obviously not. Just give them access to uranium and see what wonders they can do with it. You don't want to see the earth from top view, do you? So, there are people and there will be people whom you can never ever make things understand. They will pay no heed to any awareness or rules unless disobeying them starts pinching their pockets. We Indians are so money conscious that even for 5 rupees we switch from Flipkart to Snapdeal while buying something worth thousands. Naturally, implementing strict laws with heavy fine and no bribe will do a great help to clean India, and from the fine money government can easily set up dustbins and hire people for its maintenance. Did you know that in Singapore, I read it in a magazine just last week, that if you forget to flush the public toilet, they will charge you with a hefty amount of fine, that is $500, which is equal to rupees 30,000, nearly double of what an average Indian earns per month. Just few days ago, I was on my way back home from Hyderabad in a train. A man was sitting beside me. He ate peanuts, threw all the shells on the floor, bought corn, threw all the remains on the floor, ate samosas, threw all the disposable plates on the floor, and he wasn't even feeling uncomfortable about it. He wasn't even feeling uncomfortable about the mess he had made on the floor. And to my surprise, neither did once the railway authorities came to clean the bogie. Besides, they didn't even hesitate to disclose their shameless attitude. The railway workers, without even coming just once to clean the train on 1.5-day journey, did turn up at the end, demanding some money as bakshish. I and my dad resisted boldly. We even threatened him to file a complaint, and after a whole episode of vocal stabs, they did leave. And the pantry car. The less I talk about it, the better. But then again, how can you expect the government to implement laws when some policemen and even ministers are on a mission to paint the streets red? In one of the Swacchh Bharat Abhiyan advertisements, you might have observed that a man was being ridiculed for passing urine in open. Now tell me, imagine yourself, God forbid, imagine yourself in a town, right, walking down the streets, and for some reason or the other, you forgot to attend the nature's call when you were leaving the house. And now you're feeling the urge to urinate. Mind you, there are no toilets nearby and there are no public restrooms around you. You have clearly three plain choices. 1. Either you suppress the pressure and damage your urinary bladder. 2. Let it go and wet your palms. 3. Find a quiet, lonely place and attend the nature's call and water the plants. See, when you face such a situation, the third option obviously seems to be the most safe and the most appropriate. The government talks about building toilets at schools, but what about the general public? See, who wants to pollute the environment? Just give me clean toilets. Why would I even imagine? Why would I entertain the thought of damaging the environment? Why would I pollute the environment? Is the government expecting us to wear diapers? Mammy Poco pants? The people at high places have to be accountable to raise these questions. And by the way, Mr. Kejriwal, these things are more important than your 15 lakh CCTV cameras, I must say. I'm not being Anna Hazare, initial version. I'm just being a responsible citizen, and I am a responsible citizen who cares about his urinary bladder. Wait. I smell a conspiracy now, yes. I get the whole idea now. You know what the fact is? These diaper companies are paying the government to prevent building toilets in order to boost their sales. Intelligent drive, Mammy Poco Pants. Now I see why Pampers and other brands' sales have risen up like anything. Well, that was a joke, and if you didn't laugh, I'm sorry. Too much of politics with lawful spells, urine and garbage, they do make an awful smell. I know that's a bad rhyme. Anyway, moving on to the next episode of the section. Moving on to the next moving on to the next section of the episode. What do we have here? Yes. Gone are the days when headlines appear to be beaming out of the papers in newsstands. 2014 saw the transition of headlines into ad lines. Front page is not the front page anymore. It has been replaced by things that nearly compels you to burn a hole in your own pockets. Several newspapers have lost their standards and status by allowing full page, full front page and back page advertisements in their respective publications. Times of India, one of the most popular dailies in India and the most popular English daily in India. In that paper, it becomes even difficult to spot a page without ad. And mind you, these ads do brainwash. The latest gadgets, the huge discounts. I know, guys, I know. They attract you. They attract and force you to buy them. Plus, the discounts. They bring out the shopper within you. They kickstart the hormones which are responsible for the shopping instinct. I know. But there is a yin for every yang. Every shining object has a dark shadow. See, these online selling firms are not too fool to benefit the customer and make no profit of it. Thousands of brilliant executive minds are put to work behind these discounts. Look, Flipkart or Snapdeal is not a non-profit organization, is it? Their main objective, their sole objective is to make profit, is to make money. They apply their discounts wisely. So, about the advertisement, from AAP to BJP, from Audi to Maruti, from Magic Bricks to international schools, all have, in some time or the other, claimed a full-page advertisement in a reputed, unreputed daily. I know this question has been troubling you a lot as to what is the cost of a full-page advertisement in a daily? Not so quick, be patient. To answer this, you need to understand the important factors which determine the rate of advertisements in newspaper. Number 1. Size. It is the most significant factor and largely affects the price of the advertisement. Naturally, the larger the size, the more the price. As you know, it's a layman's concept. Okay, suppose a local newspaper charges rupees 1000 per centimeter square in black and white. Just an example. And the size of your advertisement is 100 centimeters square. Then you would have to pay 10 into 10. Yes, you would have to pay around 1 lakh of rupees for the ad to be published. I know your mathematics is better than mine. Alright, moving on. Number 2, location. Rate also depends on the city or the specific location where you want to publish the advertisement, because location corresponds to various other factors like how many business firms are set up in that area, what are the common interests of the people, what is the population of the area, what are the major languages spoken in that area, so on and so forth. For instance, suppose there are 2 locations, A and B. The majority of the people staying in location A speak Hindi, right? Whereas the majority language in city B is English. So A Hindi, B English. The people residing in the city A are mostly Hindus, and in city B, Christians make up the majority. Now, illustrate this. I want to publish an advertisement in English regarding the discounts offered on Christmas sales, and I wish to publish this advertisement in city A. Remember, majority is Hindi in city A, and most of the people that live in city A are Hindus. Now, I'd have to pay for this advertisement as small amount as just rupees 1000. It is because very less Christians reside in city A, and there is no competition there. On the other hand, if I propose to publish the advertisement on city B, the rate can go as high as 1 lakh of rupees. It is because there are other stores and shopping malls lining up and competing to boost their Christmas sales, as B possesses the majority of Christians. Notice that the whole situation will turn upside down on Diwali. Alright, factor number 3. I know you're eager to listen to the exact price, but I request you to maintain a little bit more patience, and then we'll get back to what exactly does it cost to publish an advertisement on a newspaper. Okay. Factor number 3, the date and the day of publishing the advertisement. Let us try to understand this through an example. Have you ever been to fairs or expo? Anybody? No? What a disaster. You guys are so boring. Anyway, if you have ever been to fairs, you might have noticed, or it also must have made your blood to boil, that a Coca-Cola 600 ml bottle costs you 35 in a general store and will cost you rupees 40 inside the campus of the fair. Many a times even I couldn't help myself falling into argument with the shopkeeper at the fair as to how can he charge more than MRP? It's against the law. Later did I find that this practice was going on all over India. Also, I sometimes witnessed that chips packets were being sold at 2 or 3 rupees more inside the fair campus as compared to the general stores outside. Do you know why is that so? Why do they charge more? It's not the rent which alleviates the price to that extent. It's a common misconception, I know, but the general stores too are not bereaved of the rent unless they own the shop, obviously, which in most cases is not prevalent. So after all, we pay entry fee, right? We pay entry fee, so it counts for the rent. Or buy the entry ticket for the fair, don't we? So maintenance and rent should play no role in hiking the price to that extent. Now the real reason behind this reason is that the snacks are in much greater demand inside the fair campus. Just like samosas, a plate of samosas, 2 samosas will cost you around 10 to 15 rupees, right? Now when you go to multiplexes, the same thing. A plate of samosas will cost you around 40 to 50 rupees. And that too with no extra chutney. Why? Because it is in great demand. It's an exhilarating experience to watch the movies along with the samosas. So, demand plays a major role in determining the rate. And the date and day of advertisements determines the demand, which further predicts the rate. For example, on a New Year's Day, the rate of advertisements can be as high as 10 times more than any other general day without any festivals. It is because in New Year's Day, many shops, many business firms will compete. Everybody wants to get their advertisement on the newspaper. But the newspaper is not big enough to adjust everybody's advertisement. So there's an auction. The person who pays more gets the claim, gets the space on the newspaper. Okay, number 4. Circulation. It straightaway means the number of copies the publication prints for a particular location. For example, just suppose, in Delhi around 11 lakh people have subscribed to the Times of India. But there are only 2 lakh subscribers of Times of India in Hyderabad. Whereas the Deccan Chronicle bags 8 lakh subscribers in Hyderabad and 1 lakh subscribers in Delhi. So for advertising in TOI, Delhi will be much more expensive than Hyderabad, while in Deccan Chronicle, Delhi would be much cheaper. Also, circulation of a particular newspaper is calculated by the Audit Bureau of Circulation, which works under the Government of India. Number 5. Readership. It simply means how many readers a publication has. You might say, oh, but that is similar to circulation, isn't it? No. Circulation and readership are not at all the same thing. They are different. Readership simply implies the number of readers per copy. Focus, number of readers per copy. Take for example, I print a short story on a paper and give it to my friend X, who lives alone, alright? In this case, the circulation is 1 and readership is also 1. Now consider another situation. I print another sheet of paper. Couldn't take it back from friend X because he was too thrifty. He didn't want to give it away. So I printed another sheet of paper and gave it to my friend Y, who belongs to a joint family of say 10 members. Now here, the circulation is 1 because I've printed just one sheet, but the readership here is 10. So what is readership? It is the number of readers per copy. How many readers read one copy? Okay, got my point? Number 6, and this is the last one. Page number. It heavily affects the rate. Obviously, the rate of the front page is highest, followed by the back page and then the middle pages. Okay, I hope this information helped, and sorry sir or madam in case my attempts were not enough to satisfy your curiosities. Moving on to the next section. Oops, I forgot to tell you the rate. Okay, now, I got this data from the Times of India website on 19th of April to be exact. The data says that in Delhi region, a full front page advertisement, mind you, colored advertisement, because black and white advertisements have a different rate, so full front page colored advertisements will cost you approximately 95 lakhs 23,800 only. And this is just for Delhi. It's nearly a crore. And also the rate rises extremely higher on special occasions. Now imagine how much iPhone or Audi, Samsung and Flipkart spend for advertising all over India. The rate according to the size of the advertisement in Delhi is rupees 4,514 per centimeter square. It's surprising to note that the same advertisement, if you publish on Indore, it would cost you just 3 lakh of rupees, while it is crore in Delhi. It is because in Delhi, 11,32,235 copies are printed, while in Indore, just 12,652 copies are printed per day. In addition to it, the remaining factors like interests, readerships, some of which I discussed above, also affects the rate. So, finally, after a long, boring lecture, we are moving to the next section. Thank you. Thank you. Can I proceed? Oh, God. Will you please keep silence? Thank you. Enjoying the highly expensive foods of the world, savoring the taste of the richest delicacies, a Chinese person, as I said before, managed to have all of them for free. How? That we are going to know. More often than not, airports are always a terrible places to be. Although I have been just once, there are too many people rushing somewhere combined with too many cranky folks leaving somewhere mixed with annoying obstacles in the form of security and rolling luggages. But it's just like that for us, the common man, or the Aam Aadmi without a party, I must say. But for the first class flyers, it's just like being a rock star. They get special attention, they get special place, they get a special passage. That Chinese man, a genius I must say, took advantage of this rock star status and used one single first class airplane ticket to eat food for free for an entire year. It was absolutely a brilliant plan. You see, when you have a first class ticket, right, you can stroll into the fanciest VIP airport lounge and grab whatever you want, because once you are inside the VIP lounge, anything you want, yes, including food, is for free. He took the advantage of the free perks offered by the airports to first class passengers. What he did, he booked a first class ticket on a China Eastern Airlines and he went to the VIP airport lounge at the Xi'an airport in Shaanxi and ate a delicious meal before his flight. And after he finished eating, the man changed his flight's departure for another day and went back home. Until tomorrow, armed with a brand new first class ticket for a new day. He comes back to the airport, he comes back to the lounge, eats another fantastic free meal, and after he finishes up, yep, you got it right, he pushes his flight back again. So, eat, repeat. He keeps on repeating the process and eating absolutely for free. In fact, he pretty much got a year of free meals in this trick because he changed his flight journey over 300 times in the same year. And guess what? My favorite part was when China Eastern Airlines started investigating this heroic man for changing his flights too many times. He simply cancelled his airplane tickets, and guess what? He got a full refund. Well done, sir, well done. This was an amazingly brilliant idea. Though illegal, I wish I could work out a similar loophole in internet packs. Free internet. It would be awesome. What do you think? Anyway, so it's time to swap sections. 3, 2, 1. So we are in the next section, hopefully. The story that I'm going to narrate to you today, I got this story when I was reading a magazine while traveling in a train, and the story touched me so much that I could not resist sharing it from you. So here it goes. Once upon a time, there lived an incredibly revered designer. Right? He was very experienced. He was one of the top designers of the world in his times. He had built huge business complexes, cathedrals, some remarkable resorts, hotels, skyscrapers in his lifetime. Undoubtedly, he had made a lot of money, an enormous amount of money, I must say. But he never possessed the greed for it. His first priority always used to be beauty and perfection of his creations. He always wanted his building to be built inch by inch, brick by brick, with perfection and perseverance, from bottom to top, not from top to bottom. Always wanting his building to be the exact replica of his imaginations, and the quality was never compromised. He built his building so strong, so sturdy, that it survives the atrocities of time and immortalizes his art. By the time he turned 60, he had accumulated much more than enough money to live the rest of his life in comfort, without working. One day, he called his junior in his cabin. It was the person whom he believed the most, the person whom he trusted throughout his career. He called the person and he said, "James, I'm tired. After all these years of strenuous work, I gave my 120% to my career. I have now achieved everything in life that I longed for. Now I'm tired. I'm retiring. I want to spend the rest of my life with my family. But I have one wish that only you can fulfill. Will you, James?" "Anything for you, sir. Your command is my law. I'm indebted to you. I don't even entertain the idea of refusing your proposal, sir. I'm at your service 365 days a year," said James. "So very pleased to hear that, James. You are my right arm indeed. Now listen, I'm moving abroad with my family. I won't be back before 3 years. Meanwhile, I want you to build me a huge mansion. The biggest mansion I have ever seen. Don't worry about the money. Use everything you want. Hire as many workers as you need to. Give your everything to it. Use the best quality materials, colors available. I want a mansion like nobody has ever seen before. The mansion has got to be the best mansion the world has ever seen. This has to be better than all the mansions I have ever made in my career put together. This one should be a masterpiece. Money should be no bar. I give you my everything." Soon, the designer moved abroad, and his junior James was set to work. Initially, he was full of ideas, full of enthusiasm. He knew the methods of innovation. But as days went by, he started getting lazy. He was not committed to his work. After all, now there was nobody to direct him. He was the director, nobody to scold him. So he didn't care about perfection. He started coming late and leaving early. He started neglecting the perfection and didn't work hard enough. So he came out with an extraordinary idea without an extra. With passage of time, he began to develop greed, started using cheap materials, adulterated cements, and hired less workers. He started taking shortcuts, trying to hush it up quick. Carving out a human without a spine, he ended up building an ordinary mansion which was weak enough from inside to collapse any time. After 3 years, when the designer returned, James was terrified. He was very nervous. Just the mere thought of his designer's reaction gave him goosebumps. Terribly scared, James drove his master to the site of mansion. The designer got out of the car. The nearer he was getting towards the mansion, the faster James's heart started beating. To the latter's extreme surprise, the designer didn't speak a word, held no expression. He quietly took a round of the mansion and then returned back to James. James was exceedingly apprehensive of what his master was going to say next. The designer, what he did, he quietly put his right hand inside his pocket and took out the key to the mansion that James had given him earlier that day. Extending his hand towards James, the designer gave him the key and said, "Enjoy your gift, Mr. James." And James was like, What, sir? Why are you giving the key to me? But the house, you won't take... You heard it right, son. The beautiful, huge and extraordinary mansion is a gift for you from your beloved master. Chilled air ran through James' spine and his ears got terribly hot. He had lost the synchronization of his tongue and brain and he was literally stammering. Your house, what? I never was getting my house built. I already have a huge mansion of my own. This is just a small token of appreciation for you, for all the years of loyalty and hard work. Congratulations, Mr. James. Saying this, off went the designer, leaving James unmoved like a hard grey statue. So this was the story. He had a chance. He had the opportunity. Can you believe it? The designer left him with no limits on land, no limits on expenditure, no limits on size. At that moment, James was so terrified, petrified, mortified and stupefied by the chain of events that he had been through. He knew that the design was not at all acceptable. He knew that he took shortcuts. He knew that the mansion was weak. And the worst part was, he had to live in it. Why? Because he had created his mansion. He had created his house. The moral of the story is very evident. Whatever position you hold in your life right now, whatever situations you cover yourself with, the nature of your involvement, the quality of life that you lead, the way people behave with you, every single factor that affects your life directly or indirectly, when combined, is your house that no one but you built. The houses that we are living in today were built by us yesterday, and the one in which we will live tomorrow, we are building it today, continuously as I speak. See, there will always be problems, as grave as you can never imagine, as terrible as earthquakes, which only the strongest houses can survive. It depends on you. It depends on you how you shape your house. See, it's easy to set up a tent or a temporary house like most broke people do, but it takes a lot of oil in the midnight lamp to build mansions, bungalows, huge buildings, possessing the capability to withstand the calamities of nature. It is you, no one else but you. You are in charge of your destiny. You are. See, you have got 86,400 seconds a day, and how to use them are critical. You got 86,400 a day, remember that. See, your seconds today will determine your whole life tomorrow. You gotta learn to say no to the alarm clock, no to the snooze button, and let your passion wake you up, because you got work to do. It's time to move into the next section, for which I need my car. So bye-bye. See you on the other side. Are we here? good. So in order to help you to make your days productive, I have some tips and tricks that will help you boost up your day with freshness and will provide you with satisfactory sleep, having all the assignments completed. Today, most of us spend our whole life, I must say most of our life, in a box. Talking about students, when the sun rises up, they freshen up inside a washroom, a box. Get dressed up inside home, a box. Sit in a school bus, a box. Or a van, a box. Go to a huge building that we call school, a box. They rarely get game spirit, I know the pain guys, and then they study inside a classroom, a box. They again sit inside a smaller box and return to a bigger box where they live. Then they watch movies in a box, check for food in a refrigerator, a box, take out biscuits out of a box, and then use Facebook and WhatsApp in a small box. See, one thing is for certain. Unless and until you abandon some of the unnecessary boxes, until and unless you come out of the boxes and explore the environment, I'm afraid your day won't be as fruitful as the fruits are kept inside a box. So, tip number 1, when you wake up, go out. I mean it, go out. I'm not asking you to do a strenuous exercise. At least just walk and enjoy the nature for a minimum of 30 minutes. And I guarantee that it will show instant results of freshness. At least fresher than Himalaya Neem face wash. Anyway, the second tip number 2, try to do the important things first. These important things should consist of the things that you don't like to do, because in the morning you are born again. Your brain is fresh, you haven't yet seen any notification, you haven't listened to any song yet, you haven't watched anything on TV yet, so your mind is pure. Complete the things that you feel lazy about in those times, because those times are very essential and you are willing to do work. So, important and boring things should always be done first, because if you do the interesting things first, you are likely to postpone the lazy stuff and will come up with hundreds of excuses to please yourself in order to put off the same. Okay, third tip number 3, and this is the last one. If by some reason you watched too much, by mistake obviously, you watched too much TV in the morning just after you woke up or evening, and used too much of mobile or computer, and you get the feeling of tiredness and the guilt of not performing a good beginning. All you have to do, you have to go and take a shower again. Showering will help you to go back to the morning mood, and you will start with a new air of freshness and new enthusiasm in you. So those were the tips, and I hope it helps. And with that, another day is gone, I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. You never said goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go and leave my world so cold? Every day I sit and ask myself, how did love slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says that you are not alone. I am here with you, though you're far away. I am here to stay. Bye and thank you guys, I am much obliged. Please comment and share. I'm a polar bear. I know that was a bad rhyme. Anyway, bye. And guys, don't forget to connect with me on Facebook, and please write to me at BeaTalkRadio@gmail.com. It is BeaTalkradio@gmail.com. Would be pleased to hear from you, so please do it now. So take care and see you again. Bye.